So very good evening. Welcome once again. Welcome back to the session, everyone. So in this session, it's gonna be the cubes painted concept. So we would have seen a lot of questions where there'll be a cube given for you, a sort of die which will be painted for one side and will be cutted into many parts, identical parts, and they'll be asking you how many faces or two face, three face, and all face covered, colored sort of things, right? So we'll be completely studying that in detail in this session. So let's get started. Before getting into that, let me just quickly introduce about myself. My name is Kabilan. I'm a mechanical engineer with 3 years of teaching experience in the field of management exams. I've converted various Indian Institute of Managements. You can also follow me in my Unacademy Learning app. This is my user ID, and also you can watch all my special class videos exclusively there in my Unacademy Learning app, right? And you can also join me through the Telegram channel. This is my channel, Unacademy_Kabilan, where you'll be getting all my lively updates and schedules. And you can also ask all your doubts, queries, and clarifications get it clear, right? So we have this weekly scholarship test happening every week. So the next scholarship test, it goes live on the upcoming Sunday, that is on 8th of April. And most importantly, it is India's largest scholarship test for CAT exam. You can take it live to compete with the best actually. And you can register now for free just by using my unlock code KAPI10. You can identify and improve your weak areas through the detailed video solutions as well. And it's going to be super fast and fun with All India Live Leaderboard, right? So guys, if you happen to chart this, top this chart of this scholarship test, you could win exciting scholarships up to rupees 55 lakhs plus, right? And the Supreme Weekday Batch for CAT 2021, it is kickstarting today, that is on 14th of April. So we can quickly enroll in the batches, and we have this iconic batch for CAT 2021. So what makes it different from the normal plus batch is that you'll be getting all the benefits of plus. Along with that, there'll be a personal mentor for you who will be guiding you throughout your preparational process. And also the mentor will be a graduate from top B school, right? So there will be a proper test analysis and reports will be made for your preparation, and we'll be concentrating on other management entrance test preparations as well. Okay, so guys, here we have the students who aced CAT 2020 with flying colors, and if you aspire to be one for the next year, that is for CAT 2021, you can start enrolling in our batches which are starting on 14th of April. That's going to be the Supreme Weekday batch for CAT 2021. 17th of April, it is the practice with previous year questions for CAT 2021. And 21st, we have this quantitative genius batch for CAT 2021 2.0, right? And this is the last day to buy the subscription at current prices, so before tariffs. So you can quickly enroll now. From today onwards, the new tariff will be effectively implemented, that is from 14th of April. And there is one beautiful art option called feature called Ask a Doubt. You can simply click on it, take a picture of a question which really troubles you, for which you can't able to get the answer. You can crop it down to the specific question, and don't forget to mention under which subject it belongs, right? For example, if you have doubts in painted cube concept, that will come under logical reasoning. So finally, don't forget to mention it falls under logical reasoning. Okay, so with that, we'll quickly jump into the session for today's class, right? So guys, most importantly, when it comes to painted cube concept, the actual sort of question, how it will be exactly, so if you try to see here, this is our very first question, so the following question, it is based on the information given below. If you see this, all the faces of cube are painted with red color. Okay, this is the question. And the cube is cut into 64 equal cubes. So guys, listen very carefully. If you try to observe this question, you have a cube in which, for example, if I try to draw a cube, okay, listen carefully. Let's say if this is a cube, and I know the fact that in this cube, whatever cubes you take, a typical cube will consist of 6 faces. That is the front, back, top, bottom, and 2 side faces. So we'll be having 6 faces in a cube, and what you're doing here, you're trying to paint all the 6 faces with red color. Okay, you're trying to paint all the 6 faces with red color, and after that, what you're doing exactly, you're trying to cut this cube in 64 equal cubes. Okay, so before getting into the question, no, so let me take a cube. If I take a cube, a typical cube, and if I try to cut it, for example, if you try to see here, if this is a typical cube which you have, and if I try to cut this cube into 2 equal, that is, if I try to give a cut here in the length, give a cut here in the height, and give a cut here in the width, if you try to see how many exact number of identical cubes I'll be getting after cutting it with 3 cuts, one in the length, one in the height, and one in the breadth. If you see, you'll be getting, it is nothing but you have length, breadth, and height, so you're giving it 2 cuts, so it's gonna be 2 cube. If you see, you'll be getting 8 identical cubes. So you'll be getting 8 identical cubes if you try to go for a 2 cuts. Let's say if you try to cut it thrice, that is 3 parts. One, listen carefully. If you try to cut 3 parts, that is 1, 2, so you have 1, 2, and 3. If you try to cut 3 identical parts, then it's going to be 3 cube. You'll be getting exactly 27 identical cubes if you try to go for a 3 cuts. Okay, and if you try to go for 4 cuts, it is nothing but 4 part 3. You'll be getting 64 cubes, 64 identical cubes you'll be getting. So listen carefully, guys. In this case, you have got 64 equal cubes. So if that is the case, then what I would have done here exactly, I've made 4 cuts. 4 cuts in the, so listen carefully, I've made 4 cuts in the respective length. So it's going to be 1, 2, and 3. That is 1, 2, and 3, 4. So here again 1, 2, 3. So we'll be getting 4 cubes, and here again 1, 2, and 3, 4 cubes. So if you have 4 cubes in the length, 4 cubes in the breadth, and 4 cubes in the height, so 4 part 3 is nothing but 64 identical cubes you'll be getting here. And what you're doing exactly, you're trying to paint all the 6 faces with red color. Okay, if that is the case, now the question is, how many small cubes only have only one face colored? That's an interesting question, right? Come on, guys, let's try to do this. Go for it. You've been asked to find how many small cubes have only one face colored, right? come on guys, let's try to do this. Go for it. So first, before getting into the question, if I try to find the number of sections made along the edge, right? Number of sections made along the edge. If I take it as n, let it be n. Okay, if that is the case, then here exactly the number of painted surfaces and number of cubes, if I want to, formulate it, right? Number of painted surfaces and number of cubes. So if you try to see here, guys, let's say if you have number of number of painted surfaces to be 3, we have a standard formula for it. If you have number of painted surfaces to be 3, then it is actually the fixed. The number of cubes which we'll be having here is 3. 8. This is actually the fixed case where if you want to find the number of painted surfaces, if it is 3, always it is fixed that 8 cubes will be having 3 painted surfaces. And if at all, if you want to find the number of painted surfaces, 2 painted surfaces, how many cubes it is? It is the formula which we have here is n minus 2 into 12. That's it. So this is the formula we can literally use to find the number of cubes in which you have 2 painted surfaces. And if you want to find the number of single painted surfaces, right? If you want to find the number of single painted surfaces, it is actually n minus 2 the whole square into 6. That's it. So, if you really want to find how many cubes have single, surface painted, it is n minus 2 the whole square into 6. And if at all, if you want to find the number of cubes in which no surface is painted, that is, if 0 surface is painted, it is nothing but n minus 2 the whole cube. That's it. So this is one, important formula which we can use it to find the number of cubes which have single face painted, double face painted, 3 faces painted, and no face painted. Okay, is that clear, guys? Okay, so if you are super clear with this, so for always it is fixed that if they ask you how many number of cubes have 3 faces painted, it is always 8 cubes. And if you want to find the number of cubes which have 2 faces painted, it is n minus 2 into 12, where n is actually what actually then the number of sections made along the edge, right? For example, if they say you have 64 equal number of cubes, I can definitely say that how many sections are made along the edge. If it is 64, you need to simply do cube root of 64. Cube root of 64 will give you 4. That's it. Okay, so if 64 cubes you have, then the number of sections made along the edge is actually 4. You're getting it, guys? 1, 2, 3, 4. So made along the edge is exactly 4. So this is what the exact thing which you need to follow here. So just by using the same thing, we'll try to address each and every question and try to get the right answer for the given questions here. Okay, so let's try to do that, guys. Come on. Yes, Chetna. So you have got the answer to be 24. Let's try to quickly cross check whether the answer is 24 or not. Yeah, so these are all the standard formulas that we have to find the number of cubes for 3 faces painted, 2 faces painted, and single face painted, and no face painted. Okay, so cool. If you are super clear with this, let's try to go for the very first question. Let's try to address it. The first question, if you see, all the face of cubes are painted with red color, okay, and the cube is cut into 64 equal cubes. So if it is 64 equal identical cubes, and if I want to find the value of n, the number of sections made along the edges, that is actually nothing but you just need to find what is cube root of 64. Cube root of 64 will give you 4. That's it. So guys, the very first question is, you are asked to find how many small cubes have only one face colored. Okay, so if you want to find single face colored cubes, so we know the formula. What is that? What is the formula we know for the single face colored cubes? It is n minus 2 the whole square into 6, right? So this is the formula that we have to find the number of cubes in which single face colored, right? So here the value of n is 4. So 4 minus 2 the whole square into 6. If you try to do that, you'll be getting 2 square, which is nothing but 4 into 6. This will give you exactly 24. Very good, Chetna. It is option D. 24 cubes have only one face colored. That's it. Is that clear, guys? Just kindly give me a thumbs up if you're super clear with this. Come on. So the thing is, you need to find, just by using the formula, it is super easy to find the exact number of cubes in which only one face is colored. Okay. So let's go for the second one. The same question where you have cut and got 64 equal cubes. You've been asked to find how many small cubes have no faces colored. Okay, come on guys, just go for it. Just go for it and find how many faces have no faces colored. Sorry, how many cubes have no faces colored. Come on, just go for it. Very good. So if you see here, the number of cubes which have no faces colored, that is 0 faces colored. If you try to see this, we have got the formula already, right? What is that? If no face is colored, it is actually n minus 2 the whole cube, right? So n minus 2 the whole cube, if you try to simply apply this formula, you've got the value of n to be 4. The value of n is 4. It is 4 minus 2 the whole cube. You'll be getting exactly 2 cube, which is nothing but 8. So the answer for this question is option B. You have 8 cubes which have no faces colored out of 64 cubes which you have cut into the identical halves, right? Very good. Answer it is option A, B, 8. And go for the next. How many cubes are there whose 3 faces are colored? Okay. Come on, what is the answer? So the number of cubes which have 3 faces colored. What is the formula? So let me just bring you to the formula page. I'll just try to give you a quick brush up. So if you want to find 3 faces colored, what is the formula? It is three phase, two phase, single phase, and zero phase, right? So for zero phase, it is n minus 2 the whole cube, and for single phase, it is n minus 2 the whole square into 6, and for two phases colored, it is what actually? Here 8 is fixed, right? And for double phase, it is n minus 2 into, right? So these are the formulas which we need to apply for the painted cube concept, right? And if you see here in this question, they are asking you how many cubes are there whose three faces are colored. So as we know already, for three faces, it is always a fixed one. It is undoubtedly option B, right? So the number of cubes in which you have three faces colored, it is option B, 8. It is always a fixed thing, right? Yes, very good. Next question. How many small cubes are there whose adjacent faces are colored red? That's your question. So guys, go for it. Here in this question, you have been cut into 64 equal cubes, right? And you're asked to find how many cubes are there whose adjacent faces are colored red. Come on, go for it, guys. Guys, in this question, you have been asked to find how many faces are there whose two adjacent faces are colored. Okay, so if you try to see here, as we know already, you have 64 identical cubes, right? So you have 64 identical small cubes. And if that is the case, hence one side of the big, if you try to find one side of the big cube, it is nothing but what? Cube root of 64. One side will be having 4 centimeter, right? So totally, if you have 64 centimeter, one side will be having 4 centimeter. If that is the case, then it is exactly, if you try to represent the cube here, so listen carefully, guys. So it is super clear that you'll be having 1, 2, right? 1, 2, 3 and 4 here. Like in the same way, 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. You'll be having 4, right? So you'll be having a total of 4 centimeter side for a cube, right? And if that is the case, if you want to find the number of cubes having two adjacent faces, right? Number of cubes having two adjacent faces. Colored red. Then it is nothing but the number of, one of the side of the big cube, it is 4. So it's going to be n minus 2 into the number of edges. The number of edges, how many edges you have? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You have number of edges to be 12. So n minus 2 into 12, if you do, you'll be getting 4 minus 2 into 12. So this is going to give you 2 into 12, nothing but 24. So the answer for this question is option D. You have 24 cubes whose two adjacent faces are colored red. Okay, you're getting this, guys. So that is nothing but what? The number of faces which have colored, the number of cubes in which two faces are colored red. It is nothing but this formula we know already, n minus 2 into 12. That's it. Okay. Fine, let's go for the next question. The second question for you. Let's go for it. So the following questions are based on the information given below. If you see this, all the opposite faces of a big cube are colored red, black, green colors. So guys, what you are doing here, and after that it is cut into 64 small cubes. Okay, fine. So let's try to represent it with a figure. Okay, so let's say if this is a figure cube, and if you try to see this question here, all the opposite faces here are, it is colored with three different colors, right? And after that it is being cut into 64 equal cubes. So you are asked to find how many small cubes are there where one face is colored green and the other one is either black or red. That's your question. So guys, I know the fact that it is cut into 64 small equal cubes. So if that is the case, from that I can find that one side of the big cube, if you try to find one side of the big cube, n is equal to cube root of 64, you'll be getting it as 4, right? So giving a 4, 1, 2, 3. So we'll having 1, 2, 3, 4. Like in the same way, 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 here, and 1, 2, 3, and 4. You'll be having 4 cubes. If you try to get 64 cubes, right? So if that is the case, if at all, if you want to find the number of cubes having one face green, right? Number of cubes having one face green and the other face either black or red, it's gonna be, if you try to see here, in this case, the number of cubes where one face is green, the other face either black or red, it is nothing but a total of 8 into 2. So this will give you exactly 16. Answer for this question is option C. You have 16 cubes where one face is green. How one face is green? Let's try to see here. Now listen carefully. Here, for example, if I try to if I try to paint this face green, the front face green. If front face is green, the rear face, the back face will also be green. And if the top face, if I paint it as black, then the bottom face will also be black. And the side face, if I try to paint it as red, this side face will also be red. So that's what it means. Opposite faces are painted with the same colors, right? So opposite faces of big cubes are colored with red, black, and green. So listen very carefully, guys. Here, if I want to find the number of cubes having one face green, so if you see here, in this case, you'll be having, I painted in the front face and in the back face, rear face green, right? So here, if you try to see here, one in this front face, you'll be getting how many cubes? 4 cubes. Like in the same way, the rear face. So if you see here, listen carefully. So we'll be having 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So we'll be having 4 plus 4, 8. This is the case for front face. The same thing will be the case for back face as well. Okay, so 8 into 2, if you do, you'll be getting exactly 16. So you have 16 small cubes where one face is green, the other face is either black or red. Okay, clear, guys? Let's go for the next one. How many small cubes are there where whose no faces are colored? Okay, So again, the same thing where if you want to find the no faces are colored. So if no faces are colored, I know that you have 64 identical cubes. So the value of n will be cube root of 64, which is nothing but 4. And the number of cubes having no faces colored. So the no face colored cubes, if you try to find it, be getting it exactly n minus 2 the whole cube. It is 4 minus 2 the whole cube. If you do, you'll be getting it as 2 cube, which is nothing but 8. So we have 8 cubes where no faces is colored. And how many small cubes are there whose 3 faces are colored? So 3 faces is always a constant. Yeah, if you want to find the number of cubes 3 faces colored, the number of cubes 3 faces colored is 1 at each corner, right? For example, if you see here, in each corner, this face, this cube, this cube, this cube, and this cube will be having 3 faces colored. Like in the same way, at the back also 1, 2, 3, and the 4. So we'll be having 4 cubes where 3 faces are colored. And if you see this one, the 2 faces colored cubes, right? If you see this, here in this case, if it is divided, cut into 5, that is 125 equal cubes, identical cubes. Here, this faces, right? This cubes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like in the same way, at the back side as well, you'll be getting 12. So these 3 faces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you have single faces colored. So it is super clear that in this case, you have 8 cubes where you have 3 faces colored, right? So answer it is option B. You have 8 faces whose 3 faces are colored. And here, how many small cubes are there whose only 1 face is colored, right? So single face colored cubes, if you see, so single face colored cubes, here we have the formula already. It is nothing but we know that value of n is cube root of 64, which is 4, and single face colored, it is actually 4 from each face, if you see. So it is exactly n minus 2 the whole square into 6, right? So n minus 2, it is 4 minus 2 the whole square into 6. It's gonna give you 4 minus 2 is 2. So 4 into 6, this will give you 24. So answer for this question is option D. 24 cubes you have where only 1 face is colored, right? That's it. And how many small cubes are there whose at the most 2 faces are colored? Okay, at the most, so at most 2 faces colored. If you want to find this. So number of cubes having 2 faces colored, right? So 2 face colored cubes. How to find that? Using the formula. It is n minus 2 into 12, right? So n is 4. So 4 minus 2 is 2. 2 into 12, 24. And number of cubes having only 1 face, single face colored, if you try to find, it is n minus 2 the whole square into 6. So this is going to give you n minus 2. So 4 minus 2 is 2. And 2 into 2 is 4. 4 is 24. We have 24. And the number of faces, number of cubes having 0 faces colored, right? 0 faces colored, it is n minus 2 the whole cube. So 4 minus 2, it is 2, 2 cube, it is 8. So if you try to add this up, you'll be getting 24 plus 24, it is 48, 56. So the answer for this question is absolutely option B. You have 56 cubes are there where at most 2 faces are colored. At most means it should be, the number should be lesser than or equal to 2. This is correct, right? That's it. Is that clear, guys? So with that, we'll wind up the session. Let's try to continuity of Q Spain content,